Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, in Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Wednesday. Is it today Wednesday? I think today's Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. Let's go with that. Today is Wednesday, December 6th, 2023. Today on the live stream, we've got a You Pick 'em. I've got two different boxes here. I tried to face them so there would be no identifying information. You guys are going to pick later which one of these boxes we open today. We will get to the other one eventually. But you guys get to pick. So we'll do that in a minute. Before we do, let's say hi to everyone listening in on the audio only version on the podcast. Hopefully you're having a good run out there today. The weather out here has been a little bit chilly. It was cold today on my run. It's supposed to warm up a little bit for next week, so that should be fine. But I don't know. For early December, I've only used the hand warmers, I think, on 1 or 2 runs so far this year, or this winter anyway. So I feel like, I'm not going to complain too much about it. Hopefully you guys are having a, not going to complain too much about it kind of run. I mean, better is nice too, but I'm not going to set the bar too high for today. And then, for everyone else watching later, but not live, welcome to the number one podcast to put on in the background for your dogs when you leave for the day. So welcome to you guys and your dogs as well. And don't let me forget, later on today, guys, we will have a Hello Good Dog segment. So put your dog's name in the chat and let me know. And since we're talking about the people that are watching later and not live, if you are a later and not live person and you do want your dog to be named, put your dog's name in the comment. And then I will respond to your dog's name in the comment in the next episode. You want to know what's funny? So I'm using my I'm using my MacBook here, and everything in the Apple ecosystem is all tied together. There's a spam call that comes in every day at exactly 1:02 p.m. And I get the notification on it on the phone, and it's been happening a lot. I mean, it's only been 3 days here since we've been doing the live stream again, but it's been happening other days as well. It's like the same spam call, same time, every day. It also happens to coincide with live stream. So that's what's going on in my life. Let's see what's going on in yours. Leona says, hi, Co-Fam. So awesome seeing and meeting the Cozy Run Club family. And Mike at Sam. Happy to BQ with a small buffer after falling and twisting my ankle at 40K. Yeah, I saw Leona crossing the finish line. I was worried about her at first, because she was with a race volunteer. I didn't know if it was a medic or something like that, and I was hoping she was okay. So I called out to Leona, and she came over, and she said that she had fallen. So I was worried about you, Leona. I'm glad to hear that you're doing okay, and I'm extremely happy to hear that you came out of there with a BQ. That's awesome news. Great job. I think this is the sound I want. No, that's not the sound I want. I want this one. Yeah, that's the sound I want. I think I need to put labels on these sounds. Great job, Leona. Kyle Patton says, howdy, the TRE video left me feeling like we need some sneakerheads to come through and work on the style. Oh, okay. Interesting. That's interesting. The TRE video did finally go out today. It took a lot longer than I thought. But the TRE video always needs a lot of voiceover stuff because I don't narrate things as I go in this one like I do for most other running weekend videos. So it just takes a long time. And there's just a lot of footage to go through. I have to try to figure out a way to condense it. And even then, this video came out at 30 minutes, which is kind of long. But yeah, a couple of people, Kyle, have mentioned that like the shoes are not pretty this year. I don't know. I didn't get that sense. I thought the shoes looked good this year. I don't know. Maybe I've been in the running space too long. I've been in too deep, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I did a bad job of showing off with the good looking ones. I don't know. But you're not the only one to say that. All right. Let's see what else we got. Matthias Vences has a running watch question. Says, I need a watch upgrade, but I missed all the Garmin discounts. Thinking about a Coros Pace 2 for $179. Thoughts? I think that's a really good price on the Coros Pace 2. The Coros Pace 3 is a really nice upgrade, though. And I do think it's a good cost. But at $179, that's quite a bit of difference in price. So I know a lot of people do all their running with the Coros Pace 2, and they've been enjoying it just fine. And they will probably continue running with it just fine for years. So I think that's a really good deal. You got to think about how cheap 180 really is. That's really cheap. Philip Bourne says, yo, what's going on? Got lucky in the Berlin Marathon lottery. Awesome. Congratulations, Philip. Is anyone else going to be there? Will there be a Kafuzi Run Club meet happening? I don't know. I didn't check my emails today. Should we check my emails right now during the live stream? Let me see if I got anything from, I can't show you guys. I'm not going to show you guys my emails, but let me check out my emails now. Let me see. I don't have anything from the marathon. Oh, here we go. 8:33 a.m. Your lottery result. That's what the message is. Guys, are we ready for this? Are we ready for this Berlin Marathon? It just says your lottery result. No. We are especially sorry that your name was not drawn. At least this year, it's just like, it's an image of some people running. You know, it's not like a rubbing it in your face kind of image like last year. Yeah. So I still have an opportunity with a charity partner. Or in a group, you could do tour operators. So there's options. And it says, there's another thing on the end here. It says, if race entries for BMW Berlin Marathon 2024 should become available again over the course of the year, we will let you know until April 2024 how you can get one of them. Would you like to be considered for this opportunity? Then please click here and we will save your email address in a list until the end of the event. Oh, okay. So I'll do that. I'll put my name in there. But I did not get it. That was disappointing, guys. I was really hoping that we could have an exciting reveal at the same time, but I am planning on going. Just like London, I still don't have a London Marathon bib either. I'm planning on going, and hopefully I'll be able to race. Same thing with the Berlin. I'm planning on going. I don't have a bib. We'll see. All right. Brian Lang says, nice TRE video. Surprised you don't have a Merrill contact. Yeah, I don't have a contact at a lot of brands. Like, I don't know anyone at Normal. I don't know anyone at Merrill. Like, I don't know anyone at Skechers. Yeah, so there's a lot of the brands that I don't have contacts for. And so, like, what happens for TRE is that when I go as media, one of the nice things that they've done to make things easier is that if you're there as media, you can opt in to have your email address that you registered with, or a different email address if you want, to be made public. So that way the vendors that are going can know who's going to be there. And so then, and I don't know if that's possible for just general attendees too, but I know for media, it is an option. And so that's how all my appointments get scheduled. No, actually, most of the big appointments, I already know people and they'll email me. I don't think they're getting my name off of like the TRE mailing list. But some of them, like the really small ones, like I don't know anyone at Tailwind either. So I'm assuming that that's how they emailed me and got my name, you know? And that's how we had the appointment with Tailwind. By the way, something that I didn't mention in the TRE video, Dallwalter melon being an official like permanent flavor now means you can get it in you're going to be able to get it in big bags. So like before it was only available in the sleeves. Now you can get it in like the big giant bag. So it's, you know, less packaging. I think it saves a little bit of money too. And so that's kind of like how some of that stuff works. So like when I say like, oh, so-and-so didn't reach out to me, it's not like that. Number one, it's not like it's hard to find my contact information. And number two, it basically gets given to all the vendors. So they have it, you know? So there's that. So that's how that goes. Tales of Mileto says, yo, what's going on? I got my entry to Berlin next year. Let's go get that BQ. Nice. That's awesome. Hope you have a good time. And Martha says, my ankle niggle during my CIM relay half is completely gone. Happy to say. Awesome. And may retire the Asics shoes, which are pretty worn, by the way. Worn anyway. All right. Well, there you go. I'm glad to hear that your ankle is doing better. And Luis says, yo, what's going on? No runs, recovering from CIM, but not going to lie, I do want to go for a run. Yeah, I know the feeling. All right, Luis commented on the TRE video. He wants to know about the trail story. So Jarrett was in the video, and he's like, well, maybe Kofuzi will tell you the story of the time I scared him on the Butler Trail. And it was pretty funny, but it only had happened like the night before. I mean, maybe it's not that funny. But like I had just gotten into town. It was like Monday night. And it was getting dark because I landed at like 4 p.m. I got to the hotel at like 4 p.m. or something like that. And I went for a run. And by the time I was done with my run, it was pretty much like night. It was pretty dark out. And I was just about finished, and I was like rounding a curve near a bridge, and I saw a couple of people there, but I kind of, you see them, you don't see them because it's so dark. And as I'm running past, one of them's like, good to see you, Ko. And I was like, who's that? I didn't know. And I was like turning it around, and I couldn't tell if it was someone that like I knew or if it was someone that like just recognized me because I was wearing a non-elite shirt, I think. And so it just kind of startled me, and I think I did like a little bit of pirouette, and we all giggled about it. And then like 2 days later, Jared's like, that guy that yelled at you on the trail, that was me. And I was like, oh, okay. He was out there on one of the mornings. The Running Industry Diversity Council, RIDC, has a giant group run, but it starts super early and it's dark. So they have all the volunteers kind of like get familiar with, they were doing like a walkthrough of some of the route to so that everyone knew like where they needed to stand, where they needed to have lights and stuff like that. And so that's what they were doing. And like, I didn't know that he was doing that. And so that's all that story was. It wasn't super crazy, but it spooked me a little bit because I just didn't even expect it. So it was really weird. All right. Mark Peterson says, hi, everyone. It'll be 50 degrees tomorrow in Minneapolis when I start back up running after a 2-week break. Probably going to wear shorts and maybe even the Kofuzi Run Club singlet. I feel like 50 degrees, you could totally do that. I did bring my Kofuzi Run Club singlet on my TRE/CIM trip because I was like, oh, one of those days I might try to do a workout and it might be warm enough. It wasn't quite warm enough for me to wear it on any of my workouts. But I think 50 degrees, I think that could be a good day, good weather. If it depends on the run, though. If it's just an easy run, it still might be a little chilly. Andrew McMullen here and says, yes, it's the first time I've caught the live. Nice. Cobalt Blue says, no Berlin for me, and I'm okay with that this time. Oh, sorry about that, Cobalt Blue. And Calvin says, no running today. The toddler gave me quite the cold. It's always the kids. They're always the ones that make you sick. And David DeFrangia says, hey, Ko, happy to have my 2 o'clock work break back. All right. Good to see you again. And Andrew Scott says, I didn't make it into Berlin. And how did everyone else do? Did you get in? Kyle Patton wants to know, did you tag Robbie as Robert and Robbie? LOL. Yes. Just because I think it's funny. I don't. Yeah, it was really funny that I had a conversation with Robbie before the New York City Marathon, and I was like, "Hey, Robbie, I was trying to put him in my tracker, which ended up not helping all that much because everyone had to kind of like delete and reinstall their tracker in the morning of the race. But so I'm trying to put him in the tracker, and I couldn't find Robbie in there anywhere. And I'm like, how many ROBBEs can there be? It should be really easy for Robbie. And there were 0 Robbies. So I was like, what's going on? And so I'm wondering, like, wait, what? Is there something going on weird because he's doing it through New Balance? And does he have a VIP bib? Or is he doing something different? Is there a different adventure that's happening? So I text him and like, hey, how come I can't find you? And he texts back like, sigh, I'm under Robert. And so I don't know why I looked up his last name too, and I didn't find it right away. But when I looked up Robert and his last name, then I was able to find him right away. So that's been the joke. The last couple of videos where he's been in it, I've been putting him down as Robert every once in a while. Sometimes I put him so if I see him multiple times, then I'll do Robbie one time and then I'll do Robert one time and then Robbie the rest of the times. So that's what I've been doing, just to kind of poke fun at that. All right. Stephen Lung says, yo, what's going on? The Stephen Lung from Houston got into Berlin. Awesome. Nice work. I wonder how the other Stephen Lung did. Did other Stephen, not that not one is a main and one is an other, but where's the other Stephen Lung? Did he get into Berlin this year? I wonder. All right. And Michael Lai says, did we forget to start off with a doggo shout out? No, I was just waiting till everyone got here. All right. Here's your chance. If your dog is listening, put your dog's name in the chat and we'll do hello good dog. Hello good dog time. Okay. We'll send it in. And someone had a question about the singlet. Delta Money says, are we going to do a Kofuzi Run Club singlet in black? I don't know. I don't really like black singlets as much anymore because they don't get hotter really, but mentally they get hotter. So that's why I've been picking white or light colors, really light colors for all the singlets that I've been racing in. Maybe we'll do like a black shirt. I don't know. But yeah. Don't worry. The singlet's going to be the singlet. That's going to be it for a little while. We did 2 rounds with Rabbit. Yeah, and so I thought that went well. And so, like, I'm not going to change it up. So, like, you guys that bought the singlet and haven't raced in it yet, don't worry. There's not going to be, like, a new singlet or a different singlet before you guys get a chance to race in it. So that's going to be it for a little while. All right, let's see some dog names here. All right. We got Jody here in the chat. Jody. Come here, Jody. Jody's a good dog. Jody's a good dog. Emma. Emma, are you here? Emma, where are you? Emma's a good dog. Chloe's a good dog too. Chloe. Good dog. Who's a good dog? Chloe's a good dog. All right, we'll do. Oh man, there's so many here. Oh my goodness. Oh man, there's too many dogs. We got Pickles. Kingston. Sterling, Kingston, Harper, Michael, you got a lot of dogs. Harper, Ty, and Ellie. Harper. Ty, who's a good dog? Who's listening? Who's a good dog? Ty, Ellie. All right. We'll do one more. Michelle has Mochi. Oh, I can't imagine if you're listening to this on the audio only version. I'm just yelling out dogs' names. Oh my goodness. Thanks, guys. We'll get to more dogs next time. Yeah. Kyle says I'm naming my next dog Kofuzi. Oh my goodness. Alex Arrow has a dog named Bonnie from Houston. Bonnie. I wish there were more dog face emojis because now I think all of your dogs look the same. But Bonnie. Is Bonnie a good dog? Bonnie's a good dog. Alex wants to know if we're doing a shakeout run in Houston. Right now I don't have anything planned. And I don't know that I'm going to do something really big for Houston. I don't know. Maybe we will. Farah was telling me, Farah, who happens to own the Airbnb that I stayed in, which was a really nice place. But Farah was telling me that, and Farah, who has been at all the Houston shakeouts, and she helped set up the first Houston shakeout that I did back in 2020, almost 4 years ago now. She was telling me there's a new spot, so maybe we'll do something there. I'll have to figure out, like, I don't want to conflict with anything because I know, like, last year Tracksmith had an event. Was that the only one? I think there was another event too. I don't know. So I don't want to conflict with anyone else's event. So maybe we'll do something. I was kind of leading towards just hopping into someone else's event because it'd be less stressful, but it might be nice to go to this other spot. All right, let me think about it. Let me think about it a little bit more. I'll I'll think about it. I'll have more information by hopefully next week. But I don't know. I don't know that it'll be. It won't be like a big thing where I don't have like a brand partner lined up for that one. Video guy man says that I love this Hello Good Dog segment. I don't have a bet. It's so entertaining to watch Co calling dogs I can't see. That's funny. Daniel Britton says, "Are you going to drive the course before you race?" I'm not planning on it. I'm not planning on doing that. I've never gotten a car when I've been in Houston. And I generally try not to rent rental cars if I have to. What was really nice was in Sacramento for CIM. I was talking with my friend Brian Metzler. Brian Metzler's I've seen him in a million different places at this point. He's at every event. He's been going to every event for years. He's a writer. He writes most frequently for Outside Magazine. And he was one of the guys that I was with on the Chamonix trip. And I have met him many times before that too. He was in Boulder for the ASICS event. He's at most of the Tracksmith events. Like I saw him at Boston at the Tracksmith run. But anyway, he was at TRE, and we were just chatting and talking about like how we were both going to Sacramento, and we ended up on the same flight. We ended up on the same flight with two of the PR people that took us to Chamonix. So it was like a little Chamonix reunion. We were on the same flight back to Denver from Austin. I was connecting from Denver to Sacramento. And we were chatting there, and we were both going to be doing the same thing, chasing the OTQ story. And I was like, I think I'm going to get a car because I think that's the only way to get around. And he's like, okay, well, how about if I get the car? If you do the mapping, I'll get the car. And then he's like, and then I'll have Outside Magazine pay for it. I'm like, oh, sounds great. Deal. So we did that. And that's how we got around. That's the only time I've rented a car for a race in a really long time. I'm trying to think of any other time where I've had to rent a car. I can't even remember the last time. Oh, you know what? I had to rent a car when I was out in Boulder, when I went to Colorado Springs, but that wasn't even for a race. But that's because I had to drive all the way to Colorado Springs. That was all the times that I've been in Denver and Boulder, I have not rented a car. So it's been nice. All right, Mixtape Tony says, "What time are you going for in the Houston Halfco?" I'm gonna go for like 85, 125. I can't even say it with a straight face, but I think my half marathon PR is like a 126 high, something like that. So I don't even know what it is, but I think I can run a 125. And then I was thinking like, it's basically. The easier math to do on that would be it's just 20-minute 5Ks. So I think I'm going to just try to run 20-minute 5Ks for as long as I can and see where that takes me. We'll see. I was feeling really not confident about it, but yesterday, I'll make a reel about it, but yesterday I had a kind of like, I'm starting to hone in now on half marathon specific pace. I like to do a lot of race pace specific work as I get closer to race day. And so I did a couple of 2-mile reps at half marathon effort, like what I felt like I could run a half marathon in, and I felt like I did pretty good on that one. I'm not at 20-minute 5K pace yet. 20-minute 5K pace for my half marathon effort. Does that make sense? I ran at like 6:30s, and I'd have to be at like 6:26 to be able to run a half marathon. So I don't know. We'll see if that's reasonable or not. Because there's just a lot of holidays between now and then, and it's going to get colder and harder to train fast. So we'll see. But that's kind of like, that's where I'm going to line up. That's where I'm going to go out at. And we'll go for it for as long as I can until I blow up. All right. There's a couple of requests for shout outs to you kids. We'll do kids tomorrow. We did Hello Good Dog today. Should we do kids tomorrow? I'll say hi to your kids on the live stream if you guys want. Go Running All Over says, yeah, 6:29 is 1:25. Yeah. It sounds fast. Yeah, I ran so I did 3 times 2 miles yesterday with a 5-mile jog recovery, 5-minute jog recovery. And I did 6:34 for the first rep, 6:30, and 6:30 for the second and third. So, yeah. I think I'll be pretty close. All right, guys. Daniel Burton wants to know what's in the box. You guys got to pick a box. Do you want the top box or do you want the bottom box? I think both of them have just a pair of shoes in it. I actually don't know why this box is so big. I don't think it's because the shoes are big. But top box or bottom box? All right. Luis votes for the bigger one. Daniel Burton, that's coming out pretty even. Martha wants the bottom box, so that's 2 for the bigger one. We got a couple of votes for the top box. Vanessa just came in with number 2. I don't know which one is number 2. All right. Lena says top one, so it's easier for you. All right. No, now it's all bottom. The brown one. Richard Wilson says flip a coin already. All right. David Patterson says bottom. There's a couple more in the bottom. So let's go with the bottom box for today. We can get to the other one another day. I'm not in too much of a rush for either one of these. Sorry, I dropped my knife. I think I know what both of these are. And so, none of them are, super urgent. Basically, all of these shoes that I'm reviewing, I think from now on, after, I don't know. This shoe came out in 2022 for sure. So I guess I can include it in my 2020. Maybe I'll include it in my 2023 rankings, but at this point, I'm not really planning on doing any new shoe reviews until January, because I have a lot of year-end videos to make. Or maybe I should just crank them out and then still keep doing videos. I don't know. Do we need a month of top 5 videos? I could stretch it out that way if we needed to. I don't know, but let's see. Oh, there's 2 shoes in here. Wait a minute. I don't know if I can show you this other one. Wait, I think I can, because we just saw it. We just saw it at TRE. So I think I can show you both of these. All right, I'm going to show you both of these. This one I know I can show you. It's from Brooks. This shoe arrived before TRE, to the extent that it matters to anyone. But we finally got a pair of the Ghost Max. I've seen the Ghost Max in store, and we've been talking about the Ghost Max for a little while. And I will say that the thing I find most notable about it, it feels light. It's a big shoe, but it feels lighter to me than a regular Ghost does. So I'm really excited to see what this is like. But the thing that's weird about it, it's DNA Loft version 2. That doesn't sound right. Interesting. So I'm excited to try these out. I kind of wish I had them for today, but maybe I'll take them for a run tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a nice, easy day. So I'll try that one. Should we test? We need to test to see if it's breathable. All right. Michael I says, I ran those in a demo, underwhelming. And Andrew Scott says, I found it to be firm. But Kyle Patton says, nice, I like that shoe. Martha says, yay, I really like it. And it's going to be particularly awesome next year with the nitrogen-infused sole. This DNA Loft formula is very nice, though. Okay. JC wants to know what's the drop on that bad boy. I actually don't know. I did ask if they were going to change the drop on the Ghost at all. I'm like, still 12? And they were like, still 12. I was like, okay. It's pretty breathable. There's some paper in here that's making it harder to breathe through, but pretty breathable shoe. I mean, it looks like a regular Ghost upper, just with this foam. It's at least Charmin squeezable, you know what I mean? So it's softer. Hopefully it translates to softer underfoot. So that's that one. Martha says that she thinks that the drop on the Ghost Max is 8. Kyle says it's 6. As long as it's not 12, I'll be super happy. Not that I don't think 12 is miserable, but here's my thing. I think that I feel like that the Ghost is reported at 12, but it feels like it's more a lot of times. Eric says it smells like a thick ghost. Okay. And Colin Tanner says it's 6. My homie designed it. Oh, that's cool. All right. I mean, 6mm drop in a Brooks shoe sounds pretty interesting. That in and of itself is interesting to me. All right. Edge says if you're not positive, it's best to err on the side of not showing the shoe. Here's the thing. This shoe was just at TRE. And when I was at the booth at Brooks, I was like, what's under embargo? They said nothing. So I was like, okay. And I definitely have shown this shoe in my TRE video. And I did check all my emails. No one's emailed me and says like, hey, you showed an embargo shoe. So I'll show you guys this one. It says it's a Spring 24 PR sample. There's no note in here that says anything about... Wait, there is a note in here. It's just a shipping thing. It's a packing list. Nothing about it says it's under embargo. So let's take a look at this. Oh, wait. Ooh. Yeah, I definitely saw this and showed it to you guys in the TRE video already. But it's a new glycerin with the DNA Loft nitrogen injected foam that Martha was just talking about. It's even got like the PR tags on it. Hopefully I'm not showing you something I shouldn't be showing you, but I'm actually really excited about this one. The upper feels very similar to the Ghost upper. Maybe a little bit more padding and structure in the heel cup. Look at this big giant heel clip back here. For those of you listening, it's kind of like just the outer perimeter of plastic, so it's not a huge plastic shield, but then underneath it, there's some plastic in there, giving it a lot of structure. But you know, if we're doing the Charmin squeeze test, it's soft. What's interesting is that in the glycerin, but it's a different kind of soft because that's a nitro foam. Still a very thick outsole though. I just hope it's softer. Like I have where is it over here? The glycerin 20 Stealth Fit. And I think this is an absolutely beautiful design. I just didn't love the midsole. I didn't even like this for treadmill running. So that's why this shoe's on the retired side of the shoe wall. So I'm hoping for a softer experience here. And just kind of initial inspection, it seems like it's a very soft shoe. Upper is nice and stretchy. It's kind of like almost like a knit material in here. It's a little bit heavier than what was on the Ghost Max, but still pretty breathable. And still a lot of rubber on the outsole. So definitely going to be a high mileage Warrior. We'll see if it's soft or not. Very cool. Nice. And Shannon says, I'm going to go to all the social platforms to leak images of this new glycerin. Yeah, so there it is. And Colin says, it's on the Brooks side already, so you're Gucci Co. All right, cool. I just don't want to get in trouble with it, because it's like, I know some people are leaking. I've seen the leaks of the new Cloud Boom Echo. You know what I mean? I didn't show anything from the on booth just because, you know, I'm trying to be a good partner to work with for these brands. You know what I mean? And so like, I'm not into I don't do the leaks, you know? So yeah. And Ryan says, and the crowd goes mild. Here's the thing. I think part of it is, you know, we've all gotten accustomed here to be a little bit anti-blue colored shoes. And that's a very blue shoe. You know what I mean? It's kind of a patriotic shoe now that I think about it. This would be a good 4th of July shoe. But the upper is comfortable. You know, I think my father-in-law would really... I don't know if he would or not. He's had glycerins. He's had adrenalines. I'm hoping I like it. I want to like it. I want to like it so much. Man, you guys are being ruthless. Philip says it's available at Costco now. And Calvin says, ironically, leaks might be the best way to drum up hype for these kinds of shoes. And Brian Lang says, was the entire on booth actually under embargo? That's kind of insane. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like they had stuff. They didn't really have that many shoes out, like on the wall and stuff. And like I did my meeting with Brian Metzler. Speaking of Brian, we both had meetings at the same time, and we both know the same person, Anna, who was just interviewed on the Running Effect podcast, by the way. I listened to that yesterday, but I don't know I think Brian had the meeting with the product person, and I had a meeting with Anna, and then we were just like, we're cool. You could just do one presentation. You don't have to do two separate ones. So we did the presentation together, and I think everything that they showed us was under embargo for some amount of time. It's cool stuff, though. It's very exciting. And then afterwards, I was like, "Oh, can I just shoot the booth? Is everything cool?" And then Anna goes around and she's like, please don't show that apparel over there because it's Olympic stuff. And we want to wait to unveil that later. And then, this wall is okay." And so there was like one, and they have like two little buildings inside their space. And so there's technically like 8 walls. And now there's like 2 walls that I could shoot from the on booth. And then the exterior. So I guess there's more than that, maybe 4 walls out of the 8. So yeah, it was. JJ and Sienna says, highlights of the live: dog whispering and knowing that Cosmo is saying you're Gucci. All right. Martha says, the more exciting Brooks for 2024 have a striking color theme. That white with orange and black, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, the racing shoes, those designs are great. And the uppers look really nice. I like the materials that they're using. To be honest, I don't know if the material is different than what was on the Hyperion Elite 3 because I just didn't even pay attention to that one this year. But I'm excited about 2024. And by the way, speaking of the Hyperion Elite 4 in 2024, I'm pretty sure that's what CJ Albertson raced in over the weekend. That's what it looked like. And he won CIM, which was a surprise to me. Not because I'm surprised that CJ won. He always had the potential to be in contention. But the entire race, he was not in the chase. He was not in the lead pack. He was in a chase pack. And I saw them as late as mile 19, and he was a little bit further back. And then I looked at his splits. I think it was Alex Felitti at Meta Endurance posted all the 5K splits. His last 5K split did not speed up. It actually slowed down. So like I don't know what happened in the last 5K. Or I guess 10K. But CJ crosses the line and all the photographers are there, and it's super exciting. And then it's CIM, so it's a big race, but it's also not a big race. I mean, that's one of the great things about it. And so then 30 seconds later, it got quiet. And CJ's 6 feet away from me. And I'm filming him, and I'm like, he's got a flag draped around him and stuff like that. And he took his shoes off right away. Like the moment he crossed the line, someone he was hunched over, someone draped a flag around him, and he starts untying his shoes and taking them off. And I'm like, how are the shoes, CJ? And I said it kind of loud, thinking there was a crowd, but it got really quiet, right as I said that. And so it was just kind of it seemed like it was, I might as well have asked something inappropriate because we were just it was a hush. And he just looked over at me and he just gave me a thumbs up. Now, the other thing about CJ is I was at the Brooks booth. And they were telling me all about the new redesign of the upper for the Hyperion Elite 4, how it's going to accommodate volume a little bit better. And I'm like, but can you answer me this? why does CJ Albertson always cut the tongue out of his shoes? And is he cutting his tongue out of this new redesigned upper? And the guy was like, oh, I'm impressed that you know our Brooks athletes that well. I'm like, well, this one, that particular Brooks athlete is notable. He's easy to follow. And he's like, well, what people don't know is that CJ has a really, really wide foot. And so that's why he feels the need to cut the tongue out. I think that's what he said. And so I was like, oh, okay. He's like, but no, he's leaving the tongue in on his shoes. And from what I saw when he took his shoes off, it looks like the tongue is still in the shoes for the Hyperion Elite 4. So whatever they've done to the upper, it accommodates more foot shapes now. Now that's reporting, huh? And then Shannon says, though, CJ ran too fast at Boston in 2022, saying he was really good with hills. So maybe he's learned to ease off. Yeah, I don't know. I also think that, like, I'm a little surprised that he slowed down so much, in air quotes. Like, I think it was like 10 seconds for the 10K, for the 5K split slower in each of the last 5Ks. But, like, and I mentioned this in my reel, like it was a little bit warmer than they had predicted on the day, and we had 0 cloud cover. And if you've run CIM, like, you know that, like, after the bridge, there's no coverage from any of the sun. And so if it's sunny, it's going to beat down on you. So it was hot. It was hot then. So, like, it's not too surprising that everyone slowed down, but I just wish I could have seen, like, the overtaking point. I want to go back and see if I can find that. Mm-hmm. And Vanessa Martinez says, you know what? Yes, us wide feet people like Brooks. That's good. That's good. And Martha says, there wasn't a band on the bridge this year. There wasn't? Oh, man. That's disappointing. I hope that they know that they're missed. You know, I hope they're not like, oh, no one really gave us any appreciation last year, so screw that race. I mean, I love that. And Louis says, people definitely came to cheer on CIM. I was expecting less people. I was also expecting less people. Like, when we were driving around. Oh, another part of the story is Tony with a Sony. Do you guys know Tony with a Sony on Instagram? Tony, who was also at TRE. I didn't see him, like, I saw him like once the entire time, and then I hung out with him. He was there at the Brooks after party. I think he had come with Jameel Curry, or at least that's who he was hanging out with that night. So he was with Jameel, and I saw him there. And then I also saw him again in on the race. And we run into Tony, like, at the starting line. We've all got our media passes, and we're trying to find where the elites are, like where their staging area is, because I wanted to film them, like, in the pre-race area, but they wouldn't let us in there. But we were kind of in that area, close enough. We could see them doing strides and stuff. And so we're all in there, and Tony's like, "How are you guys gonna get around?" I'm like, "Oh, we're driving. We think we're gonna go to mile this and then mile that." He's like, I've tried doing that before, and I can't do it. It's just too close." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, where are you going to go?" He's like, "Oh, we're going to go here, here, and here." And I'm like, "Okay, well, can we just follow you then?" He's like, "Yeah." And so we, like, actually the 2 cars, 4 of us went together. It was me, Brian, Tina Muir, and Tony with the Sony all together. I actually don't know Tony's last name. Not off the top of my head. I've hung out with him a whole bunch now at this point, but it's just Tony with the Sony. But so we're going through, and anyway, to wrap, I'm glad I left the comment up on the screen. I don't know. Now I remember where I was going with that story. So we're going around, and I'm thinking it's going to be easy to get in and out of all these spots because it's so early. Most of the people that are cheering for CIM are not cheering for the elites. They're going to be getting there after we get there, right? And so I thought we'd have plenty of time and be really easy getting in and out. We did have a really good easy time getting in and out. That was nice. Because we also had media credentials too. So sometimes the cops would let us get even a little bit closer. But there were a lot of people at all those same spots that we were. So like clearly there was a lot of family support for those same OTQ chasers. So that was really cool to see. It was never quiet anywhere I went. And Richard Wilson says, speaking of Curry, my brother Nick got into Western States. Nice. Who else did I see just got into Western States? I'm trying to think. Anyone else notable that we guys know of? Calvin says, instead of a pacer, would you want a band playing on the bed of a truck in front, a la Mad Max? That would be kind of funny. That would be funny. Having a pacer is nice, though. A band would also be kind of fun, too. But it just depends on, I guess the music would matter. If it was like a drum beat, like that would be kind of fun. But I think it would depend. I don't know why, but I'm just envisioning like a mariachi band for some reason. And I just feel like the kind of like the gut belt, like belting out like the songs. I just feel like it would be like after a while, like after like the second hour, I think it would just be a lot. And Colin Tanner says, you know what? 180 BPM music only. That would actually be fine. That would work. That'd be interesting. And Jules says, random, but do you ever get massages in a build-up? Does it work for you? I've never gotten a massage before. Yeah, I don't think ever. And that's interesting. Because you're the second person to ask me about that very recently. And I very rarely get the question because I don't do them. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Interesting. No, I haven't done any massages before. I do have the Roll Recovery R8. It's a thing that looks, to me, it looks like a spider almost. But where is it? It's all the way over there. I can't reach it. But that one really does like a deep tissue massage. So I like that one. I only use it after races, though. Otherwise, I'll use it. I have like one of those percussion guns, so I'll use that from time to time. But usually, I use it reactively, not proactively. Like you ever see like workout videos with pros? They'll get out of their car at like the trailhead or whatever, and they'll be like stretching and then using the massage gun. And I'm like, you use it as a warm up? Interesting. Okay. I don't know. I've never done it that way. And JJ says, this was my first marathon and I was impressed with the amount of people throughout the course. There were very few quiet spots. I know, that's cool. Because I remember a lot for me, I think there's just a lot more people this year. When we were at the expo, we had a talk. Some of you guys were there. It was awesome to see you guys. It was 4:00 on Saturday. It was me, Peter Bromka, and Matt Chittum were talking. And like one of the ways I explained the race is that like, because I think Peter asked me like, how do you compare it to like New York and Chicago? And I was like, all of these races have really great energy. And I think the energy is part of why people come here. But it's not from the spectators at CIM. Because there are spectators, but it's not like New York. It's not a World Marathon major. It's not like New York. It's not like Chicago. But you're always going to be running with a bunch of people. Because there's so many people that are trying to run those same times that you are. And so the energy comes from your fellow runners. And I feel like that's awesome. But this year, I do feel like there was a lot of spectators on course. So I think that's really cool. And Daniel Burns says, I use my massage gun every day before I run. Oh, that's interesting. Shannon says, I bought Koa massage to a foot spa in Chicago when he lived there because I knew he'd never do it for himself. Alas, he never used it. That's true. I never used it. I had intentions of using it, but I never did. Sorry. And Tommy Runs is here. What's going on, Tommy? He says, Tommy, we got to schedule another interview for Behind the Running Influencer or whatever else we're going to call that segment. I have some ideas, so I owe you a text. And Martha says, okay, I'll say it again. I have my own personal massage therapist right at home, and I'm very spoiled. He's terrific. And yes, massage is fantastic for runners. Well, we don't all have a Lev at home, Martha. And, she does recognize that she is quite lucky. So I'm glad that you have that. All right. Tommy says, I think we should interview me. We did that. That was our first episode. We interviewed each other. You don't remember that? That was a long time ago, I guess. All right. Okay. That's going to be it for today because, Tommy and I got some planning we got to do. The year's not over yet. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. It's that time. If you guys haven't seen it yet, check out the TRE video. I think you guys are going to like it. It's not the most approachable of my Runners Weekend videos, because it's kind of a lot of inside baseball. But I feel like for people that are coming to this live stream, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces. You're going to hear some interesting news updates. And hopefully you'll be entertained. The next video that's going to come out is the CIM video. That one I think is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a little bit, more broadly kind of accessible for runners because it's more of a running travel video than like the running convention that TRE is. So that one should be fun. I'm going to get started working on that now. And hopefully I'll have it out by the end of the week. But we'll see. In the meantime, we'll do another unboxing tomorrow on tomorrow's live stream. I do have a bunch of packages that I haven't picked up yet, so maybe we'll do that other box that's on the floor now. We probably should do that one that's on the floor now because I want to use that shoe this week. But maybe we'll do something else. I think there's an action camera that I need to review soon coming in. So we'll see, but we'll do it tomorrow. We'll figure it out. Same time as today, 1 p.m. Central Time. Until I see you guys again, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.